Here with the drive wire, I have the 2021 Dodge Durango SRT. Now this isn't the Hellcat, the crazy bonkers Hellcat version with 700 plus horsepower. This is the slightly less mad 392 6.4 liter. I'll go into some of those details later. You'll probably be pretty familiar with this overall shape. It's been around for 10 years, that's quite old, but Dodge has made some pretty meaningful enhancements over the years to make this pretty much one of my favorite cars. I really like it. It's got 3 rows of seats. There are 2 and 2, so only room for 6 in total, but nobody wants to add more weight anyway. It already weighs 5,000 pounds. So to cope with the additional power, and put that down to the ground, there's additional tire size on here. These are 20-inch rims with, these are all-season Pirelli Scorpions. In the summer they'll switch them out to summer tires. These brakes are the upgraded brakes, so these are not the standard brakes. They come with 2-piece rotors, and these are 6-piston on the front. On the rear, these are 4-piston brakes. Now most of the enhancements have been made on the inside of the car, and I'll go into those in a second, but the front has been made more aggressive. It's got more of a Dodge Charger look. It's got these cool new light designs, and then this new front more aggressive splitter. You see this thing coming up behind you in the rear view mirror. You simply get out of the way. These are real air intakes into that 6.4 liter Hemi engine. So under the hood is a 6.4 liter naturally aspirated Hemi V8. It's been around for a few years. This one has 475 horsepower, 470 foot-pounds of torque. Good enough to hustle this one to 60 in around 4.5 seconds. Not bad for a 5,000 pound SUV. It's mated to a very good 8-speed transmission, and there are various different drive modes, including track, if you want to take your SUV to a track, sport, and then auto modes for a little bit more of a comfortable ride. This one, base price is $63. It's got a few add-ons, comes out to $73. DVD system is $2,000. I've been that. The performance brakes that I spoke about are about $1,300. I would definitely get those. This is a heavy car, and these are good. These are really good brakes. More good news, it takes regular gas, so no need to spend extra money on premium, although it's not exactly an economy car. I haven't really done very well on the fuel economy front since I've had it for the last few days. Less than 10, I think, but we'll check that when we go inside. So there's some decent usable space in the back with the third row up to about 17 cubic feet. If you put all the seats down, you've got about 75 cubic feet, so it's pretty big. And then what I like too is this little handy little space right here where you can stow a bunch of stuff. The jack's in there, and then remarkably, it actually has a spare wheel. And then if you don't need these seats, and bear in mind there's only 2 in the back here, simply push them down. No motors to go wrong with this. You can fold the other ones flat as well. There is an option for a lightweight package, which removes these 2 rear seats and replaces those 2 in the back with a bench. Cuts down on weight. Maybe that's when you take it to the track. So what I like here is the button for the control is excellent for small people. They don't have to reach up. Let's do some sound on the exhaust. So that sound good? Let's take a look and see how difficult or easy it is to get in the back. So in order to get in, there's a very red little pull tab here. Simply pull on that and then pull up, and you climb in. So once in the back, let's see how much room we've got here. Put that up. All right, well, it's not too bad. mean, you could spend a little bit of time in here. Anyone taller than me, though, might have a problem with headroom, but actually these seats are not bad. They're a little bit hard, but they're not too bad. So I think you could spend a little bit of time in the back here. And then to get out, just do the opposite. Squeeze out. So regular and second row passengers get a decent amount of room. It's not too bad. This one comes with the optional rear DVD entertainment system. You got your headsets right here. Quality of the materials is really good. Dodge has done a really good job. You got cup holders, you got power, including 150 AC. You got heated seats in the back. They've done a really nice job with the materials on this particular car. This does have the luxury package, so you get the Alcantara in the seats, in the inserts, and all over this roof as well. In the back, interior materials quality is excellent. Obviously carries over to the front as well. These seats are superb. They offer some good lateral support right here. There's certain touches that I'm not keen on. This weird, like, please clean me bit of detailing here is somewhat annoying, but everything here is new regarding the dash. This is the brand new 10.1 inch touchscreen. Uconnect. I believe it's the version 5. It's fast, it's intuitive, it's easy to find what you need. You can go into here and you can access the performance pages. You can do timers 0 to 60 with a rollout, your best times, etc. So someone's been playing around here, doing some quarter-mile times here with this system already. You can look at some various different graphs of gauges, your G-force. A little bit overkill for an SUV, but all good stuff that you can sort of play around with. As you can see, this thing is fast. It will pair up to your phone. It has Apple CarPlay. It has Android. It has a bunch of apps. This one comes with navigation, but look how fast it is to load. They have done a phenomenal job. It's always been one of the best ones on the market. And then the thing that I like is it's got redundant switches down here. So you've got your physical volume control here, fan, HVAC, heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, which I kind of like when it gets a little chilly here in California. Then you've got your SRT button. That gives you your drive modes that I mentioned earlier. That's going to give you track mode, reduces the traction control systems to a bare minimum. Sport, which we've been driving around in for most of the time so far. And then an auto and a comfort mode, so you don't get your teeth rattled out. There is a launch button here if you want to test it to 0 to 60, and you can use a timer in the system to do that, which I just showed you. So all in all, it's a really nice place to be. 2 cup holders, you can get your wireless phone in there, charge that one up. Here's the DVD player, so you can control what your kids are looking at in the back. A little bit of power. Unfortunately, the downside of spending $2,000 on this system means you have absolutely no room in here for stuff. So again, save your money, buy them an iPad. This dash is 7.1 inch digital dash. Really nice steering wheel. You can scroll through and see what your tire pressures are. You can go into the 0 to 60 timer. You can go into your fuel economy, which, if we start the car real quick, see how we're doing. Oh, 8.4 miles to the gallon. That's really excellent. And then usually I'll have it set, go back there, and I'll have it set to 0. So yeah, I really like what they've done. They've improved this. This is definitely the best part of this whole car. It's angled towards the driver, which I like. And then best of all, no sunroof, which I can't stand. All right, but what we really need to do now is take it for a drive and find out how it performs. All right, let's get going. So as I said, these seats are pretty comfortable. They got plenty of support. They're that sort of Alcantara, so they're nice and grippy. They're not slippy like regular leather seats are. All right, so I'm going to use the SRT button here. Every time you stop the car, it puts it into auto. So we want it in sport. Maybe we should have it in track. It's super aggressive in track. I've tried it a couple of times. Kind of like it in sport. In sport, it's a 60-40 split, so 60% of the power goes to the rear wheels, 40% to the front. If you put it in track mode, it disables most of the traction control, leaves it a little bit on for safety, and then pushes 70% of the power to the rear wheels, as opposed to, and 30% to the front wheels. All right, so we're gonna get going. The biggest thing that you notice inside the car driving is that wonderful sound out the back. It seems to be, like, I've driven this at the same engine that's in the Challenger and the Charger SRT, and it tends to be a little boomy on partial throttle. This one isn't that way. It seems to be a little quieter, and then when you floor it, then the noise starts kicking in, and it's a good noise. You get really aggressive with it, and it starts rev matching. You can hear some crackles out the back. It definitely wants to have fun. All right, let me switch it to track mode here. In track mode, the shifts, you feel the shifts more, they're not as soft as in sport. It definitely makes an attempt to create slightly lumpier shifts. I don't know if I like it as much as sport mode. I'm not sure if you'd want to take this on a track anyway. It's just too big and unwieldy. It's more of a car to do that with. That acceleration off the line is pretty solid, and it doesn't take long to get up to really good speeds. And the other thing is, its composure in turns is impressive. I mean, it's no Alfa Stelvio Q, but it's pretty impressive when it comes to taking corners at a decently fast pace. It is fun to do that with. It doesn't kick you in the back, you know, like a Hellcat. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, has an insane amount of power, but this is an awful lot of fun for an SUV. And of course, you know, there's a ton of space in this car. You know, it just proves that Dodge has got a sense of humor when it comes to these cars. Let's put the biggest engine we've got, or the second biggest engine in this case, into an SUV. Yeah, I know that Mercedes, BMW, and Audi have some cars with more power, but there's something about this one that just has a little bit more soul. There's heart in it. You can tell that the Dodge engineers have said, well, we've got this old 10-year-old Dodge Durango SUV, you know, can we possibly make it just give it some heart, give it some soul? And yes, you can, when you shove a 6.4 liter Hemi engine with 475 horsepower under the hood and a pretty decent 8-speed transmission. It definitely works pretty well with this car. And the steering's good too. I have to admit that this is probably one of the fattest steering wheels I've ever tried to get my hands around, especially down at the bottom here. Well, honestly, apart from the SRT badges front and rear, and obviously the in this case the red painted calipers, it definitely doesn't look like it could go as fast as it actually does. And I do like the fact this one is octane red. It's a darker red. It doesn't yell, please give me a ticket. And so far so good. There's no wood in here. I think the only thing I don't like about the interior is this weird sort of black treatment that they've given it, and it almost looks like it's dirty all the time. Small little things that, you know, are not too much of an issue. I think maybe fake carbon fiber would have looked better. So I'm not really going to take it on my normal driving course because, again, you know, it's not really great in the twisties, in the turns. It's better to just mash the gas pedal from a stop and listen to the orchestra out the back. It really does sound phenomenal. It definitely sounds more refined in the cabin than the Charger and the Challenger do. They just seem a little bit more raucous, just a tad annoying with that sort of droning noise going on. This, on the other hand, I love it. Now, the steering's good. It's pretty decent. The brakes are phenomenal. The ride in track mode is a little stiff. It's pretty harsh. I like sport mode. So you've got track, sport, auto, snow. There's not much of that here. Towing, and then a custom configuration. So you can actually configure the transmission, the paddle shifters, the all-wheel drive system, stability control, suspension, and the steering all together. And then going into the paddle shifters, you've got the downshift on the left and the upshift on the right. So we can... It's reasonably quick. Yeah, it's an entertaining car. It would entertain me all the way to a depleted bank account by spending all my money on gas, but it's great. So I got a free tank of gas with the car when they delivered it, and I've used that up already, and I'm on my second tank of gas, and I have half of that tank left. So know what you're getting into if you get one of these. You're definitely not getting into an economy car. So all in all, there's the new interior. Just to summarize all of this, the new interior is great. The new screen is good. It's fast. Uconnect 5 is absolutely awesome. It always was one of the best systems that I'd ever used. Materials, fit and finish is solid. It is a $70,000 car, so I would expect it to be pretty decent. I haven't found too many faults. There's a couple of little scratchy, hard areas of plastic to be expected. But other than that, I really like it. I think it's been very well thought out, has all the things that you would need. I'm not finding anything that I'm missing. So I've got to give this, if I was going to give this marks out of 10 for an SUV, it's got to be a solid 8 out of 10. Would I buy one? You know, being a sentimental old fool, I think I probably would, because there's something about these muscle cars. They're just so much fun. And, you know, unfortunately, one day they will go away. So things like this may not be around if everything turns electric. But anyway, once again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, make some comments, tell me what you think, and we'll be up next time with another video. Thank you.